Without the right vehicles, grinding can be a really long grind.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
I've uploaded a lot of money making guides on this channel, but one of the things I haven't really gone over so much is what vehicles you actually need to be able to grind properly and efficiently. So in this video today, what we're going to do is we're going to go over some of the best grinding vehicles in the game, of course, but also which grinding vehicles are best for which specific activities, if that makes sense. So this is sort of going to be structured like a top 5 video, but it's not really that. It's more so which vehicle is best for which specific type of grinding. So if you find this video helpful, a thumbs up is always appreciated, and consider subscribing for more videos like this one. And for any veteran players out there, if you think that any other vehicles are better that I missed out, make sure to comment them below so any beginners can pick that up. Alright, let's start off with vehicle warehouses, and these missions can be pretty time consuming if you have to drive all the way across the map in these vehicles. What makes these missions even more annoying sometimes is that you're not meant to damage the vehicles. Of course, you're going to lose money if you damage them. So what's the best way to not get shot at or not crash into anything? Go in the air. So for that reason, the best vehicle for grinding vehicle warehouse missions is the Cargobob, because you can pick the car up and fly it across the map, land it in the yellow circle, and that's it. That's the mission done. It even gives you a special little cutscene when you use the Cargobob, so that's a nice little addition, I guess. You can get a Cargobob for just under $1.8 million, so it is a bit expensive, but it's going to save you a lot of time in the long run, and in a game like GTA Online, time is money, so it's definitely a great vehicle to pick up for grinding these missions out. Next up, we've got the import-export crates, and for this one, I'm going to mention 2 vehicles because, in my opinion, they're both really great. The first one's the Buzzard. This, of course, is one of the best helicopters in the game, and it's also the cheapest at 1.75 million, which of course makes it a great purchase for anyone, but mainly beginners in this case. The Buzzard has rockets and a machine gun, so it's good for fighting NPCs and any players that you might come across as well. But the main reason the Buzzard is so great for CEO crates is because you can spawn it right next to you with the CEO menu. So no matter really where you are on the map, you can spawn it right next to you and get where you need to go. It's really easy. The second vehicle I want to mention for these missions is the Akula, and these 2 vehicles are also some of the best for the hangar business as well, so I guess we can just combine these 2. The Akula is pretty similar to the Buzzard, but there are a couple of downsides, but there's also some big benefits as well. The main benefit is that the Akula can enter stealth mode. That means no one on the map is going to be able to see you on the radar at all, even if you're carrying cargo, which makes it perfect for grinding these businesses out. The only 2 downsides compared to the Buzzard though is that it is quite a bit more expensive, going for $3.7 million and $2.7 million for the trade price if you complete the server farm mission in the Doomsday Heist. You also can't spawn it through the CEO menu. You can still spawn it through the interaction menu as a whole, but it's not going to be through the CEO menu, so you can't spawn it directly next to you. You can still spawn it pretty close, but it's just not going to be right next to you. So in my opinion, it's not the biggest deal, but it definitely is a minor inconvenience. I'm going to group the MC businesses and the bunker together because they're pretty much the same type of business. You know, they operate in the exact same way, pretty much. So for these ones, I'm actually going to put probably the most hated vehicle in the game, and that's the Oppressor Mk, or even the Oppressor Mk is pretty good for these if you hate the Mk. The Oppressors are pretty much made for the MC businesses, because when you become an MC president, you guessed it, you can spawn it right next to you through the interaction menu. And mainly for that reason, it pretty much instantly becomes the most convenient vehicle to travel across the map in. On top of that, because it's such a small vehicle and it pretty much operates like a bike, because it is a flying bike, its maneuverability and agility makes it really easy to get into tight areas and kill any NPCs and enemies when you're stealing the supplies for these businesses. So it's honestly just a great vehicle for these. There's not too much more that needs to be said about that one. I highly recommend picking up an Oppressor if you're grinding out these businesses. The Oppressor Mk goes for just under $3.9 million, but you can actually get it for the trade price of $2.9 million if you buy the next vehicle we're going to go over, which provides a segue to talk about the Terabyte. The Terabyte is basically a grinder's best friend. The Terabyte came into GTA Online with the After Hours nightclub update about just over a year ago. So you will need a nightclub before you can buy this vehicle. When you have the Terabyte, you can start up client jobs, which are pretty much just really easy jobs that pay a lot of money. Right from the start, you can do a bank robbery jobs where you just go to a bank, steal the money, and then take it to a location. It shouldn't take more than about 5 minutes, and you'll get $30,000 for 5 minutes of work. Then once you upgrade your Terabyte and get the drone station, you can start even more client jobs like diamond shopping, for example, which pays about the same as the bank robbery, and it's even easier. That one should take probably about 3 minutes if you're trying to do it quickly. So the Terabyte gives grinders some really easy way to make money, and then once you complete 5 of those client jobs, that's going to unlock the Oppressor Mk trade price, so you're going to save some money there. So if you spend your time and money right, all of that should come together pretty nicely, and you'll end up with a lot of grinding vehicles for a pretty reasonable price. The final type of grinding I want to talk about are heists, and again there's 2 vehicles I want to go over that are going to speed things up a lot. The first is the Kuruma, and this one's more so for beginners because it's just only over $500,000, but it can be used with veterans as well. It's still a fantastic vehicle. This vehicle is going to make heists 10 times easier, because when you're inside, you're pretty much invincible to NPCs, and obviously if you can't die, heists are going to become pretty damn easy. This is the vehicle that pretty much everyone should be able to use for heists, unless you have the next vehicle we're going to go over, which is the Vigilante. The Vigilante is probably the best vehicle in the game for grinding heists because, again, you're pretty much invincible, but on top of that, it's also got rockets or a machine gun, depending on what you want to pick, and a massive freaking jet engine on the back, which makes it the fastest land vehicle in GTA Online. There's not too much to say about the Vigilante. This thing's an absolute beast for anything, really, but especially heists, because it's probably the best vehicle you can use in heists, like I said. So those are all of the vehicles I wanted to go over. Of course, there are some other fantastic vehicles for grinding that I left out, like the Molotov for hangars because of how fast it is. But because that one is extremely expensive, I personally think the other options are worth your money. And that's pretty much the same with all of the vehicles I might have left out. But if you do disagree with any of them, definitely comment them below so people can have a look at those vehicles anyway. So if you enjoyed the video, or if it helped you out in any way, a thumbs up is always appreciated, because that's going to help this video get out to more people like you. And consider subscribing for more videos like this one. Make sure you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!